Okay.
Right, so around the chest, the rib cage, underneath your boobages. And this is just to give feedback. So I do genuinely really love working with bands. They are really good things to work with. So we're going to work with our bands or imaginary bands if you don't have a band available. So you've wrapped it around your rib cage. And the reason we have done that is to give us feedback. So when we breathe in, I want you to feel the expansion of your rib cage into the band, but in particular around the back, because we're often very locked, especially if you have got EDS, in the back area here. And that's because the muscles, your intercostal muscles, are holding on so tight. So what we're doing is we're going to enable them to move, but strengthen them at the same time. So we have got the strength. Okay? So I tend to hold the band like this because it means I'm not having to put lots of extra muscle effort into holding it like this. So I find it a lot easier like this. So just try and relax your shoulders as much as you can. And then imagine as you breathe in, the whole of your rib cage is going to expand 360 degrees. Okay, nice expansion all the way around into the band. And then as you breathe out, I'd like you to imagine you're drawing your rib cage away from the band. So if you're wearing a bra and you don't have a band, you could imagine the bra is the expansion, expanding into the bra. Or imagining the t-shirt, pressing the rib cage out into the t-shirt as you breathe in. And then drawing your ribs away from your t-shirt as you breathe out. Feeling the rib cage expand into the band. And feel the whole of your rib cage contract. And I'm going to try and be really specific with what I say today, so Anne, you can keep your eyes closed, okay? Helen has got cat's bum in her face.
Yeah.
So gorgeous.
Good morning, kiddos.
Yeah, how
Beautiful
lovely.
cat. Beautiful.
And then I'd like you to imagine how the diaphragm and the transverse abdominis muscles are working together. So as you're imagining drawing your chest away from the band as you breathe out, like this, what's happening is you're contracting your diaphragm at the same time, which means you're contracting naturally your transverse abdominis muscles. So that big corset of muscles here. So breathing in releases it all. And then breathing out contracts your diaphragm, which in turn contracts your TVA. And you might feel it, you might feel like your tummy goes in a bit as you breathe out. So breathing in, focus on the back and sides expanding into the band. And then breathing out, feel the rib cage narrow and pull away from the band as your tummy also contracts. That's it. And then we're going to involve the lower part of our tummies. So breathe into your chest first, and then into your belly. And then imagine the belly just emptying out of air first, and then the chest. So into the rib cage, into the belly, and then allow the lower core and pelvic floor to support that exhale as you breathe out. And then allow the rib cage to contract as well. So do that a couple more times without me talking. And then when you're ready, release the band and take a couple more breaths and feel how much more expansion you've got of the rib cage now you have released that tension from the band. So what you've done is you've mobilized those intercostal muscles, but at the same time the contractions have been activating them as well. So in theory it means hopefully you've been breathing deeper into the bronchioles, so you've got more lung capacity, but also you're less likely for the ribs to move loads and get kind of locked or sublux. Okay, so hopefully, I mean, I've not had it in years. You know that horrible shot of pain that you get when your ribs sublux and you can't breathe into it? It's awful. Has anyone had that before?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's usually the left-hand side when they sublux. They do it quite often.
well, I'm hoping you don't get that, and I'm blinking delighted for you, Zahira, that you haven't had that. Bless you. Although you've had loads of other stuff to make up for it. So settling back on your chair or on your bed and taking a moment for your body to settle. So quite often we have so much tension in our bodies holding us upright. So lying down is a chance for the body to settle, and you might want to maybe lift the pelvis and lengthen your spine and lower it back down. You might want to shuffle your shoulders away from your ears. And once again, pay attention to the chest expansion as you breathe in and out. And we're going to breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out to tilt pubic bone to nose. So we're breathing in to retract, and breathing out to tilt. That's it. And this is without the band at all. We're just allowing our hands to rest for a bit. As we breathe in, tilting pubic bone away from the nose. And breathe out, pressing the middle of your back into the mat or into your chair. And then I'd like you to maintain the middle of your back pressed into the bed or the chair. So now you've got a tilt where your pubic bone is lifted towards your nose and your back is almost flattened. And we're going to maintain that for this next move. So this maintenance of here doesn't require lots and lots of core. It just requires a very gentle amount of activation. Okay, so just a small amount. So you're going to hold that amount and still breathe at the same time as you slide a leg away and find stillness in your body as you slide. And then slide back again. And if you're seated, you can choose, depends how hard you want to work. You could choose to either slide along the floor, or if you want to, you could slide away like this, on hovering above the mat or the floor. So slowly and smoothly, sliding and returning. And just double check in with yourself that you're still breathing as you do this. And then we're going to do the same thing but with our arms. So bringing the arms to the ceiling and guiding one arm above your head and returning. And then swapping sides. So if you're sat up, it'll look like this, so this way, but only to the height that's available to you. And you can of course go much lower if you need to. If you're potsy today, especially with this weather, you could bring the elbows down and do it like this instead. Okay, I want you to be really nice to yourselves. That's better, I can see you now, Helen.
No, sorry, I can see you too.
That's
Cat's
okay.
over there. Catty's back.
Remind me, I always forget your cat's name.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah, I keep the male spelling of it because I didn't know until the kittens appeared what she was. I
Oh.
rescued her off the stairwell. And you live happily ever after, you Charlie Pop. They're obsessed with each other.
And then in your mind, I want you to wiggle your right fingers and your left toes. So you're getting in connection with them. And then I'd like you to glide both away from each other. And then bring the hand and the knee towards each other. And we're going to stick with that same side. So sliding away. So this is opposites, just in case you were wondering. So I've been learning a lot about people's narrative in their heads, especially if they have autism, and especially when we're working with coordination, and how much more you need to think about it and literally have to say, this, my right hand is this one and my left leg is this one, and move it. So I'm learning. And no wonder you're getting knackered.
Have you heard of retained primitive reflexes?
No.
Check it out, because that's one reason that autistic folk have so much trouble with coordination, is
Right.
problems crossing the midline.
I shall, thank you.
Our brain.
Now, those bits might be a bit warm now. I can feel warmth in my left thigh currently. So we're going to swap and let them chill out for a bit. So in your minds, you might like to think left hand, right foot, and give them a wiggle. And then send them away from each other. And then return. That's it. Well done. Still, at the same time as pressing the middle of your back into the mat. Well done. And then at some point soon, your right thigh might be feeling like it's been working. At which point we're going to rest the arms out away from us and sway the knees side to side, nice and slowly. Okay. So the next thing is we're going to put the band over our foot, and I'd like you to leave a little hoodie. So what I mean by that is like you've given it a hat or something over the tip of your toes, okay? So if you don't have a band, you can imagine, and obviously you won't be lifting your leg into the air, please, Anne. Okay, so keep your leg low. So Anne, for you, can you draw circles on the floor with your foot, just with your heel to start with, so you're getting that rotation going on? So those with your legs hanging in the air, we're going to a very small amount, circle that leg. A small bit. I don't want it to be big, I want it to be small and controlled as you do this. If your leg being up in the air is too much for you, especially when it's hot, you could fold your band in half and then bring it behind your leg like this and keep your knee halved or bent. Okay, so that is an option for you. So small circles, allowing your elbows to rest, your shoulders to rest as you do this. And small circles the other way as well. And then I would like you to point your toe away from you and flex it back. That's it. So if you're sitting up, you might want to lengthen your leg away from you a little bit and point and flex. I know you were probably way ahead of me, but I just felt I had to say it. So gentle point and gentle flex. And have a look down at your foot and check that the little toe and the big toe are going up in line with each other so that your ankle is nice and straight. And then once again, small is the important word of the day. Small circles with your ankle. Really small ones. So Anne, yours will look like this. And then when you're ready, we're going to relax that leg and relax the hands. And if this is a good water break time for you, please feel free. And take your time swapping legs, remembering to leave a little bit of a hoodie for your toes. And you may notice that when I do this, I wrap the band once around my hands, and it means I'm not having to grip so much. So feel free to do that. Keep your elbows relaxed, keep your shoulders away from your ears. And we're going to start with a super small circle. And I know, Anne, that you're probably doing it already, but it's going to look like that. And while you're doing this, you're breathing slowly. Helen, I wonder if you could go any slower than you're going now. Yeah. Sometimes it's harder, isn't it, to go slower?
Yeah.
Let's go the other way as well. It takes a lot more muscle control to make movements smaller and slower. And then we're going to bring the leg to the centre and gently push on the band, point the toe and flex it back. Push and flex. Look how straight your leg is, Carol. Goodness
Yeah.
me.
That's
Yeah.
pretty. It's really, that's because my bad knee and it's so swollen, it has no choice to be straight.
Shows you've got very flexible hamstrings. Have a look at your toes as well and just double check that you're pushing the ankle away in one straight line. and then very small circles. So you're looking down to double check that you are doing them small. And circle the other way as well. And then when you're ready, take your foot out of the band and give your hands some time to relax. Well done, everybody.
Yeah.
Right, that we're right heavy on the legs, so we're going to the arms for a bit. You can sit up if you want to, or you can stay down. So we're gonna grab the band in our arms. We've got a nice little routine. So this can be done with or without the band, as always. So have the band about shoulder width apart. And then bring the elbows down by your sides. I love that, Anne. So Anne's got an electrical wire that's not plugged in. So even if you have something that has no resistance in it at all, like no stretch, you can gently push the hands outwards a little bit, but I don't want you to go much, please, because you'll exhaust very quickly. So a small amount of resistance. We're going to push up. We're going to bend back. We're going to push back up, push outwards.
Oh.
Oops, and then down by your sides. Look at you strong warrior, Sahara, Sahira. I could not say it then, your name.
I know, don't ever go that one. You can go Shakira, but not
Shakira, that's what Jake calls you.
that.
So pushing up, bending back, pushing up again, pushing out, and then down. Can you feel the strength in your wrists and your arms and your shoulders? Whoa. Down. Do you have one more in you?
Do you still sell bands, lovely?
Yes, I have got some bands. I've got some nice ones actually.
Lovely. I'm going to buy one.
Yeah. If you email me, I'll send you a link to the shop.
Lovely.
And then when you're ready, bring your hands out and do this. That's it. Okay, so I don't want to neglect your biceps. So we're going to bring the band underneath our knees and hold the band like it's like you're milking a cow this time. So with the band coming out by your thumbs. And your elbows are tucked once again. That's it. And we're going to very gently draw the thumb towards the shoulder and release. Just gently, one on each side. That's it. Well done. And you can do this without the wire if you prefer. So Charlie was right on top of Helen's chest then. So cute.
Big kiss up my nose.
Yeah.
She wants breakfast. She's disappeared till now, so she's missed a breakfast slot.
Oh.
Wait.
I could so see you, Anne, with a lovely, I think, retriever. I could imagine you with a retriever. One that's all just loving and gorgeous. And then when you're ready, let's let our hands rest. That's it. Now we're done with the bands, I'm sure you'll be pleased to know. I did have like a whole half class left to go, but we've run out of time and I really want to do a relaxation with you. So let's sway the knees gently side to side. So in terms of relaxation, let's do a vote. Put your hand up if you want music. Put your hand up if you do not want music. Okay, so we have voted. So no music, relaxation. Is that all right for everyone?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So find a comfy lying position. Oh, and I haven't done this one in ages, but it's from that book that Callie recommended to me, I Close My Eyes and See. And it's just such a lovely book. It's got some really beautiful relaxations in it. And my favourite one is the one that kind of bonds us together. So I thought that would be nice for today because we've got such a lovely supportive group here. So allow yourself to get comfy and try not to worry about any noises or any distractions. And if you're getting animal cuddles, even better. And I want you to imagine yourself that it's a late June evening and you're strolling by the river. And it's a really beautiful countryside setting. And the dusk is falling and the cows and sheep are beginning to gather under the trees. And the birds are chattering. And you can hear the fish plop in the river as they gather midgets for their supper. And the only other sound is a soft tread of your feet or your wheelchair on the grass. And in front of you, you can find an open space where you can rest on a bench or you can rest down on the grass. And I want you to settle down in that space and look above you and look at the sky. Make yourself comfortable and enjoy how the ground or the bench is warmed from the sun. And feel the support of the surface beneath you as you stretch out upon it. And as you look up, right above your head, there is one particularly beautiful and bright star. And this star is the symbol of your higher self energy. And I want you to relate to it and feel its light streaming down to your heart. And in return, you're going to share with it some of your personal energy. So I want you to make a deliberate connection between your heart and your higher self. And in your mind, just be aware that everyone in the group is also relating to their higher selves. So in your mind, I want you to just imagine the person on your right on the screen and make with them a triangle of energy. So where your hearts are together and both of your hearts are going towards your higher self. And experience this deep level of sharing and belonging. And then be aware that the person on the left of you on the screen is also doing the same thing, making a triangle. And going round to each of us in turn in that circle. We're each connecting to our higher selves, and each connecting our hearts to each other. Connecting the whole group at heart level, all with individual strands connected to the star. And allow the love, compassion and belonging to filter through. And imagine how you're receiving that from others and also giving it to others. And then let the image of the circle fade, although the energy remains. And let the image of the triangles fade away, but maintaining that energy. And now there's just your personal connection, seen as a ray of light between yourself and the star. And that also fades, but you keep that connection. And once again, you're lying on the grass. The sky has now deepened to indigo, and above your head there's a beautiful star. And in your mind, you imagine getting up from the grass or the bench and retracing your steps. And the cows raise their heads as you go by. And the birds have settled. And the river flows silently beside you. And once again, your feet or your wheelchair make soft sounds on the grass, on the earth that holds you. And above you, the stars are protecting you. And there's a gentle, sweet-smelling breeze accompanying you on your way. And in your mind, I just want you to think how good it is to be a part of life. Being a part of each other's lives as well. And keeping that gorgeous Pilates connection with each other. And with your heart warmed and your right place in the world affirmed, allow yourself gently to return to the room and open your eyes and wiggle your fingers and your toes and stretch or move in any way that feels good to you. As you move on with the rest of your day, feeling a little bit strengthened from our movement, but hopefully really chilled and happy. Thank you, everybody.